I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You always say yes, even when you're tired, even when you're overwhelmed, even when the voice inside you is begging you to say anything else. You smile, you nod, you agree. You offer your time, your energy, your presence, because it feels easier to accommodate than to disappoint. But here's the truth. Every yes you give when you mean no becomes a seed of quiet resentment. And it's not just toward them, the people you're helping, pleasing, protecting. It's toward you. This video is going to break that cycle. We're going to name the pattern you're stuck in, expose the emotional cost it's taking from you, and sever the invisible contract that taught you being nice is more important than being honest. Because this isn't generosity. It's self-abandonment with a polite smile. And it's eroding you from the inside out. You say yes to avoid guilt. You say yes to avoid conflict. You say yes because somewhere deep down you believe that no is dangerous. That if you disappoint them, they'll leave, they'll change, you'll be alone. But that fear, it's running your life. And it's also making sure no one ever meets the real you, only the agreeable version you keep performing. This pattern isn't harmless. It's not just being a good person. It's a form of quiet self-erasure, and the bill is coming due. But this isn't about politeness. It's about the fear that saying no will make you disappear. And we're going to explore that next. Every time you say yes when you mean no, a piece of you goes quiet. Not all at once, but slowly, consistently. You dim your preferences. You delay your needs. You defer your truth. And at first, it feels noble, like being flexible, like being kind, like being someone who's easy to love. But eventually, the kindness curdles, the smiles turn tight, the silence grows sharp. The things you once gave freely now feel like obligations soaked in resentment. You start avoiding texts. You rehearse fake reasons to cancel. You hope they forget to ask, because you're tired, not just from doing too much, but from pretending that you want to. And it doesn't stop with other people. You start resenting yourself for being so available, for not speaking up, for being the reliable one. Again, the one who always adjusts, always flexes, always folds. But this resentment, it's not a flaw, it's a flare. A signal from your system saying, this isn't sustainable. You can't keep being agreeable and expect to feel free. You can't keep avoiding disappointment and expect to feel whole. Because the more often you say yes to keep the peace, the more you realize there's no peace left in you. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's unsustainable. And unless you name what this pattern is protecting, you'll keep playing the same role until there's nothing of you left behind the performance. So let's name it. Because the version of you that keeps saying yes, they're protecting something. Let's go there next. This isn't about politeness. It never was. The reason you keep saying yes isn't because you're generous. It's because somewhere along the way, you learned that saying no wasn't safe. Maybe it was in your childhood, when love felt conditional, when approval was earned, not given, when speaking up meant conflict, when having needs made you too much. So you adapted. You became agreeable, helpful, easy. You learned how to read the room before you spoke, how to sense what others wanted before they asked, how to shapeshift into whoever they needed, just so you could feel wanted, or at least not abandoned. And now, that reflex has become your personality. You call it empathy. You call it kindness. You call it being a good person. But what it really is self-erasure dressed as virtue. You're not people-pleasing. You're self-protecting. Saying yes became your shield. It kept the peace. It preserved connection. It minimized risk. But it also cost you the ability to trust your own boundaries, to stand in discomfort, to disappoint someone and stay rooted in yourself. Because somewhere inside you still lives the old belief: if I say no, I'll lose them. I'll be rejected. I'll be alone. And maybe that belief was true once. Maybe it kept you safe back then. But now, it's a cage. One you keep decorating with good intentions, but still a cage. You've been trading self-trust for survival and calling it maturity. But the fuse is burning low. You feel it. And pretending you don't isn't working anymore. You've outgrown the mask. You've outgrown the apology. You've outgrown the silence that used to protect you. You've been delaying the fallout, but the pattern's cracking. You're not just tired, you're done. You've been postponing the fallout without ever confronting the fuse, and it's burning low. Next, we break it. Let's say it plainly now. Saying yes when you mean no isn't kindness. It's dishonesty. And not just to them, but to you. You keep telling yourself you're being loving, that you're keeping the peace, that it's not worth the drama. But deep down, you know that's not true. You're avoiding conflict by creating it internally. You're protecting relationships by destroying your boundaries. You're keeping others comfortable while betraying your own clarity. And here's the most brutal part. They think they know you, but they only know the version of you that never disagrees, never sets limits, never says, "That doesn't work for me." You've trained people to expect your silence, to depend on your compliance, and now you resent them for it. But they're not the villain. The lie is. The lie that being nice makes you good. The lie that agreement equals love. The lie that saying no is selfish, cold, aggressive. You don't owe anyone your compliance. Not your family, not your partner, not your boss, not your friends. The longer you keep padding your truth with softness, the harder it becomes to recognize your voice at all. So here's the rupture. You're not tired because you're busy. You're tired because you've been carrying everyone else's comfort and calling it responsibility. You say yes to keep them close, but every yes said in betrayal of your truth pushes you further away. And that's the real loss. That's the part that actually hurts. Not that they asked, but that you said yes, again. The part of you that keeps agreeing is the part that doesn't believe you're allowed to be inconvenient. That ends now. Because what's left is not a preference, it's a door. And you already know what's on the other side. Coming up next, the choice that changes everything. No steps, no script. Just you and a clean final line in the sand. This is where the performance ends. No more softening your no into a maybe. No more over-explaining your needs so they'll sound more reasonable. No more reshaping yourself just to be easier to hold. You know what you want. You know what doesn't work. You feel it every time you say yes with clenched teeth and a fake smile. That's your boundary. That's your truth. And it doesn't need an audience to be real. You've spent a lifetime being agreeable, but never fully chosen, because they can't choose you if you never actually show them who you are. So here's the decision. From this moment forward, if it costs you your peace, your clarity, your truth, it costs too much. Say no, without apology, without preamble, without asking for permission. Let the chips fall. Let the silence come. Let them misunderstand you, if that's the price of being understood by yourself. This is the line. No more quiet yeses, No more internal negotiations. No more keeping the peace while losing yourself in the process. You don't need to become cruel. You need to become honest. That's it. Say the first clean no. Let the silence come. That's how you return. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.